It is iPhone time. iPhone 12, iPhone 12 Pro in the house. So let's start with iPhone 12. iPhone unboxings have always been brief, but welcome to the next level. The phone's on top, there's a USB-C to lightning cable, and this little insert which has some leaflets and a single Apple sticker. That's the unboxing. No charger, no earphones this time. But for the phone itself, there is so much to talk about. So, this is the blue. It's kind of dark, it's like a cobalt blue, which sits about halfway between something that looks professional and something that's kind of fun looking. And it's got the same glossy back and matte camera module as the last phone, but the big change is the form factor. It is so flat. I remember watching the launch event and part of me was really excited because I love minimalist design like this. I've caught myself a few times in the last couple of days just beaming at it like a proud dad. But at the same time, I was also a little apprehensive because, well, chances are the hand you're going to be holding it with is curved, not angular. Probably. And you do feel it. It's actually the only bone I have to pick with this design. This is not as comfortable to hold as the iPhone 11. I think flat sides really suited phones like the iPhone 4 and the iPhone 5 because they could literally fit into your palm. But as phones have gotten bigger, there's a reason that most have tended towards curved backs. But it is somewhat helped by two things. One, the fact that 12 is actually quite a bit smaller than 11. Like literally, apart from the fact that these two phones have the same 6.1-inch display size, the 12 is smaller in every dimension. It's shorter, it's narrower, it's thinner, it is 30 grams lighter. It's kind of like they took an iPhone 11 and just shaved off the entire protruding perimeter. And so for context, in the realm of iPhone sizing, it ends up just a tiny bit bigger than the iPhone 11 Pro, iPhone XS, and 10, but quite a bit smaller than the 10R and 11. If this was an Android flagship, it would be classed as compact. So I'm very curious to see how small the iPhone 12 mini is going to be. And the second thing, which somewhat helps with the feel, are cases. So I've got two here, the silicon and the clear. Random fun fact, these boxes are exactly half the size of the box of the phone. I'd be very curious to know if that's intentional. I really like the silicon one. It takes away the sharpness of the phone, softens the edges, but keeps the core design intact. The clear case, I'm not much of a fan of. I mean, I've never really liked them, but it's just that this year especially, because of the magnetic accessories that Apple's designing, they can't get around the fact that they've got to install magnets into the cases as well, and those aren't clear. Oh yeah, and the display on the iPhone 12 is a mile better. I mean, don't get me wrong, the iPhone 11, it kind of needed a screen upgrade, but it's just good to know that now that they've done it, it's a big one. It is still a notched phone, but they've moved from LCD to OLED, which amps up the contrast quite dramatically. It's got thinner borders and 2 times the resolution. So you can actually now finally watch 1080p video without needing to get the Pro model. Mind you, it does cost $200 or £200 more than the 11 does right now. And it does still come with a fairly limited 64 gigs of internal storage. But I would say that if you are choosing between the two, and you're going to use your phone for like 3 years or so, there is enough of a gap to justify that price difference. The 12 is also water resistant at 3 times the depth, coffee resistant too apparently, although I will not be trying that one. And the front glass is apparently 4 times more drop resistant. Also, I've just ordered a whole bunch of iPhone 12s for a giveaway starting right now. And to enter, all you need to do is to hit the link in description and follow my Mr. Who's the Boss social accounts. I'll remind you about it at the end. Okay, so that's what $800 gets you. This is what $1,000 gets you. The iPhone 12 Pro. Being the Pro phone, you get the Pro packaging, which is, well, it's the same, but it's black. You got the phone on top, you've got a USB-C lightning cable inside, and the same insert. But the phone itself does feel different. And it's kind of weird because dimensionally, it's identical. The iPhone 12 and 12 Pro are exactly the same shape, to the point where you can literally use the same cases on either model, but the Pro just so happens to weigh 25 grams more. And that's for 2 reasons. There's an extra camera, and they swapped the aluminium frame going around the edges on the 12 to stainless steel on the 12 Pro. But it is an undeniably better material. Like, steel is way more resistant to bending, to cracking, even actually to corrosion. Oh, yeah, and they've polished it like crazy. Like if you go into work one day and someone tells you you have something stuck between your teeth, now you've got your mirror to check. But to be honest, for me, I'm not actually that bothered about the rims. I think the more important change with the Pro's body is the fact that the back has a matte finish. For me, it's such a peace of mind thing. I'm someone who likes to keep my phone clean, and so the fact that I can still use this phone without feeling like I'm covering the back in fingerprints, It keeps me sane. I say that, but at the same time, because the sides are now so glossy, you probably will end up fingerprinting them, which is minor, but if you're anything like me, you might find it a little annoying. Oh yeah, and something I've actually just realized while filming this video is that the extra weight of the Pro, combined with the fact that it has an extra camera on the back, means that it actually wobbles less on a table. So this is the iPhone 12, and this is the iPhone 12 Pro. Random fact number 2. Both these phones have magnets in the back. Now, they're not strong enough to be able to kind of stick the phone on a fridge and leave it there. We haven't tried that. But they are strong enough to pick up paper clips or SIM ejector tools. Not that I would recommend this, but just a fun fact. Anyways, I think it's fair to say that this year, the Pro isn't as much of a jump over the normal iPhone as it was last year. I mean, literally today I've had probably 5 occasions where I've picked up one of these devices, I've used it for a full 2 minutes,